Majority of New Age messages are utter bullshit. What God wants to do, the real universal one, He wants to rip all of the expectations out of you until you're just happy with what He gave you. And if you sell out and you don't like that, you sell your soul casually, esoterically, and you have a certain amnesia and cognitive dissonance in how you forgot over lifetimes how you did it, and you get what you get because of that. Because of there's a combination where you have some type of acceptance or not, or you have a non-acceptance and you're working with some type of counterbalance agency faction of God. Thank you. So I don't know if I'm going to keep this a short, or I don't know if I'm going to like keep going, but I might as well keep going because, I think shorts could be like, there could be 2-minute shorts, but, because obviously the upload time is like a little different, and like the folders are different too, right? The shorts and the regular videos, they're different folders, but like shorts, they could be like, there could be 2-minute shorts, But anyways, going back to the video is we've known this, we're not like bringing it to intellectual light. We've known like most of all the shit, respectively, we've known it. We've just shoved it under the rug, esoterically or whatever. And how we did that is because we know what we're doing, but we kind of forgot. There's this unique amnesia going on, and that unique amnesia is like we're trying to use that as like some type of particular scapegoat, some type of psychological scapegoat of like, what I'm doing is right. I'm going to justify what I'm doing, and I'm just going to keep, going towards something in like not pure spirituality. And within the not pure spirituality, that's the essence of how my psychology is getting kind of transformed and shit. So it's like, we kind of know that like certain New Age messages, they're not accurate, but we're numb to like the critical thinking, and we're numb to the like the real truth of it, because we're just kind of being juiced with certain like cognitive dissonance, and that cognitive dissonance is coming from different like tactics of like some type of like quote unquote synthetic stimulation, end quote. And if we don't check that quote unquote synthetic stimulation, end quote, then we wouldn't know that we're going away from just being happy for what we have, right? So since we're not happy with what we have, we're not looking at the cup is half full and half empty, or which one is it? Is the cup half full or half empty? So if we're looking at the cup as half empty, and metaphorically that being looked at as something as the quote unquote detriment, end quote, then we're choosing that mind state, and within us choosing that mindset and that emotional state, then that leads us energetically towards away from purity. And gradually, if we don't check certain balances, or if we don't check certain support systems that balance us, then we will go away from that purity, right? It's just like it's just like some basic ass like math shit if you just kind of think about it. So and that's just what it is, because like if we don't highlight that stuff, then that stuff is going to continue to go on without us even knowing it. Like the whole instrumentation of just like inaccurate truths with false intentions, making false psychological states, and promoting false contracts, that goes towards away from the esoteric purity. So it's like so we have we have like a small choice to kind of like take a particular type of like psychological or like an intellectual responsibility for us to know what we're thinking of, or like, or owning up to like we have our own quote unquote leaks in our aura, end quote, and now we're subject to other people's thoughts that are not our thoughts. You know, they're not our original thoughts. They're some type of, they're from like the collective that is in a energetic area of lower octave hood energies, right? And I'm saying that like metaphysically, like I'm not saying like, because it applies to the whole globe, it applies to the whole world, right? So we have to take intellectual responsibility to know how our psychology is being transformed, how the collective sociology is being transformed. Because if we don't take that responsibility, esoterically we're going to be or energetically we're going to be some type of victim, and that victim is going to take us away from the purity because we're not accepting the good things we have. And if we don't accept the good things that we have, that's low-key on one casual tip, that's like low-key shitting on God, you know, because he gave you all this shit, he gave you your human body, and now, and God is like low-key everything, right, in like a certain balance. And if you're like shitting on that balance, you're like shitting on God. So like, and he gave you that human body, so like you're shitting on something that gave you what you have. So how does like God respond to that? Because everything is perfect in a deep ass way. These mechanics, the universe has order in the universe. This earth is a like, it's so small compared to the universe. So I know it's harsh down here, but like if we were to ask particularly if to the universe, like, is everything perfect, like casually, and it said yes, then it's up to us to kind of like piece it together and understand that, right? Because it's already like oh shit, because it's already like it already has its own order, right? So the title of this video is like, you could say like, how is the universe perfect? It's up to us to understand, because the earth is reflecting order and chaos, and that chaos has arisen based on, you know, just lower octave stewards from the past yuga, pretty much. So it's up to us to take intellectual responsibility every moment, because if we don't, then we're feeding our like our lower octave our lower octave like everything, you know, which we don't have to do, you know, because the lower octave things are like, you know, the unnecessary cognitive dissonance, right? The unnecessary like false information, right? The unnecessary emotional lower octave like emotions, right? The lower octave relationships, those are the kind of things that are there, you know. So how to take intellectual responsibility in a perfect universe or whatever. So as we're taking intellectual responsibility, you could say that's one of like, respectively, that is like one of the great works, you know, because if we don't take intellectual responsibility, then the necessary intelligence and information, that will be lost. And if that's lost, we'll lose our way. Have an awesome life.